Alright, this video is on Chapter 12, enhancing a document. Alright, the first thing we're going to talk about is tables. A table is a grid of horizontal rows and vertical columns. It is a useful way to represent information that is organized into categories. Alright, so we're going to look at creating a table. So, you should have downloaded the files that went with this chapter that was associated with the link. So we're going to go now and open. We're going to go to File. We're going to go to Open. We're going to go to my Chapter 12 folder. And we're going to open our table document. Okay. We're going to save it as class table. Alright, we're in Chapter 12. We're going to save this as class table. Okay. If necessary, change your zoom to 120% and display non-printing characters in the rulers. In the body of the letter, position the insertion point in the second paragraph, which is the blank paragraph right here. It's actually the fourth paragraph. Okay. On the ribbon, click the Insert tab. In the Tables group, click the Table button. Alright. The table grid opens with a menu at the bottom. Point to the grid to highlight 2 columns and 5 rows. Okay. As you move the pointer across the grid, the size of the table, columns by rows, appears above the grid. A live preview of the table structure will appear in your document. When the 2x5 table appears at the top of the grid, click the grid. Okay. An empty table with 2 columns and 5 rows is inserted into your document. Alright. You are going to enter data. When the insertion point in the upper left cell of your table, type class. As you type, at the end of the cell, mark moves to the right to accommodate the text. Press your tab key. Type time. And again, press your tab key. That moves you to the next row. Type the following information into your table, pressing tab to move from cell to cell. We're on page 348, item number 4. Okay. Selecting parts of a table. We're going to move the pointer to the left of the top row in the table so that the pointer changes to an open arrow. And then we're going to click the top row to select it. Okay. Point to the top of the first column so that the pointer changes to a solid downward arrow. The first column is then selected. Okay. The table move handle appears above the upper left corner, which is a 4-sided arrow. Point to the table move handle so that the pointer changes again, and click the table move handle. The entire table is selected. Click any cell on the table to deselect the entire table. Okay. Inserting a row or a column. Point above the column border between the class and time columns. The insert control will appear. Right here. Click the Insert control. A new column is inserted to the left of the Insert control between the class and time. I did a row. Okay, I did a row. So, hit Control Z, that gets rid of that. We'll go here. Here we go. There's our new column, and it is going to be named Day. Alright, and then we're going to go down with our arrow keys and put in our days for our classes. Okay. Make sure the insertion point is in the second cell in the last row. Click the Table Tools Layout tab. In the Rows and Columns group, click the Insert Above button. Okay, it adds a new row above your existing. Click in the first cell. Just put in contemporary. The day is Thursday. (7:30 to 8:30). Okay. With the insertion point in the last column in that row, click the Insert Right button. Okay, a new column is added. Go to the very top and put in price. Okay. At this point, your table should look like figure 12-5 on page 350. Position the insertion point anywhere in the Jazz row. On the Table Tools Layout tab in the Rows and Column, click the Delete button. Alright, the Delete menu opens. Click Delete Row. Okay. Jazz row is deleted. Position the insertion point anywhere in the price column. In the row and columns group, click the delete button and choose delete column. Okay. Changing table column widths. Click anywhere in the table if necessary. On the ruler, move table column markers. Indicate the width of each column. Right up here. Okay. Point to the time column right border so that the pointer changes to the double-sided arrow with the line between it. Double click the column right border. The column border moves left so that the time column is just wide enough as necessary. Okay. There we go. Necessary to display your information. On the Table Tools Layout tab in the Cell Size group, click the Auto Fit button. Okay, it's grayed out. Let's go here. Now let's do an auto fit and fit it to contents. There we go. Point to the class column right border. Press and hold the mouse and drag a little to the right with the vertical dotted line, like that right there. Okay? Alright. It's said to move it all the way to the 1.5 inch marker. Alright, so there's that. I don't think we need it like that. Let's see, Control Z. Okay. There we go. Drag the time column right border to the right until the move table column marker on the ruler is at 3.75. Okay, and the day border to 2.75. Okay, so we've repositioned our table borders. Formatting tables with styles. Okay, on the ribbon, click the Table Tools Design tab. In the Table Styles group, click the More button. The Style Gallery opens. Scroll down to display the styles in the List Tables section. Click the List Table 1 Light style. Okay. On the Table 2 Sun tab in the Table Style Options group, click the first column checkbox. Okay, it's already selected. To deselect, okay, so we want to deselect it. The bold formatting is removed from the first column in the table. Alright. Align a table and the text in a table. Click the Table Move handle. To select the entire table. On the ribbon, click the Home tab. In the Paragraph group, click the Center button. The table is centered horizontally on the page. Click the Time column. On the ribbon in the Tables Tools Layout tab in the Alignment group, click the Align Top Center button. All the text and time column is centered in the cells. Alright, compare your table to the figure 12-9 on page 354. Alright, now to change page orientation. Alright, you can set orientation the way a page is turned for the pages in your document. A page set to portrait orientation is taller than it is wide, while landscape is wider than it is tall. Alright. We're going to open the flyer document, so we're going to go to File, Open. We're going to browse back out to my folder and open our flyer document. We're going to save it as Dance Flyer. Okay. We're going to change the zoom to one page. Alright. On the ribbon, click the Layout tab. In the Page Setup group, click the Orientation button. And we're going to choose Landscape. The document changes to landscape orientation with the page wider than it is tall. Alright, so now Dividing a document into sections. A section is a part of a document that can have its own page level formatting and properties. Okay. Every document has at least one section. To divide a document into multiple sections, you insert a section break. There are 4 types of section breaks. Next page, which inserts a section break and forces a new page. Continuous inserts a section break without starting a new page. Even page inserts a section break and forces a new page to start on that next even numbered page. Odd page inserts a section break and forces a new page to start on the next odd numbered page. Alright, so we're going to insert section breaks. We're going to change our zoom back to 120. Okay. Scroll down to the bottom of page 3. Bottom of page 3. Place the insertion point to the left of Dance Studio K above the address in the shaded box. On the ribbon, click the Layout tab. It's already selected on mine. In the Page Setup group, click the Breaks button. In the Section Breaks section, click Next Page. A new page section break is inserted. Scroll down to see page 4. Let's see. On page 4, below the shaded box containing the address, place the insertion point before the faculty heading. And then insert another next page section break. Okay. There are now 3 sections in the document. So now we're going to format a section. We're going to change our zoom to 60%. Okay. Click anywhere on page 5, which is where faculty's is at. On the Layout tab in the Page Setup group, click the Orientation button and choose Portrait. Okay. Section 3, which is page 5, changes to Portrait Orientation. Section 1, which consists of 1 through 3, and Section 2, which is page 4, remains in Landscape. Adding different headers and footers and sections. Add a different header and footer. Change the zoom back to 120. On the ribbon, click the Insert tab. In the header and footer section, click the Footer button and Edit Footer. The insertion point moves to the footer area on page 5. On the left, the footer area is labeled Footer Section 3, and on the right, the footer is labeled same as previous. Type your name. Scroll up to see the bottom of page 4. Okay. The footer area on this section is labeled Footer Section 2, and your name appears here as well. Unlinked section headers and footers. Scroll down and make sure the insertion point is still in the footer area for Section 3. On the Header and Footer Tools Design tab in the Navigation group, click the Link to Previous button. The button is no longer selected, and the Same as Previous tab on the footer disappears. Scroll up to see that the top of page 5 and the bottom of 4. Notice that Section 3 header area on page 5 still contains the Same as Previous tab because the sections in these two sections are still linked together. Okay. On page 4, click after your name in the footer. Click the tab twice and then type draft. The text is right aligned at the default right tab stop. Drag the right tab stop to the right to move it on the top of the right indent marker at the 9-inch mark. Okay. Scroll down to see that the footer on page 5. The footer on page 5 is unchanged and should not have the word draft. Because you unlinked the footer sections. Double click anywhere in the document to close the header and footer. Inserting and modifying graphics. Place the insertion point on page 1 to the left of the first word, welcome. Okay. On the ribbon, click the Insert tab. In the Illustrations group, click the Pictures button. We're going to navigate to our folder. And we're going to include our new dance picture. Okay. Click Insert. Okay, let's crop our picture. On the ribbon, click the Picture Tools format if it's not already selected. Go to our Crop button. Crop button selected and black handles appear. Scroll the document so that you can see the top of the photo and the sizing and crop handles on the sides of the photo. Point to the middle crop handle. Press and hold down the mouse button and drag down a little. The pointer will change to the plus sign. Drag down about 1 inch to just above the dancer's left hand. Okay. Then release the mouse. Drag the bottom middle crop handle up above about 1 inch to just below the foot. Okay. And drag the right and left handles in as well. Okay, I need to be able to see that hand up here. Okay. Okay. Alright. On the Picture Tools Format tab in the Size group, click the Crop button. Okay. Crop button is deselected and the crop handles and the crop portions of the photo disappear. To resize my picture, on the selected photo, point to the upper right sizing handle. Press and hold the mouse button and then start dragging down. Continue dragging the size handle down and to the left. As you drag, the overall size of the photo shrinks, but the photo stays centered in its position. This means the pointer moves away from the sizing handle as you drag. When the photo is approximately 1.5 inches high, release the mouse button. Okay, so here we start dragging. Okay. If the measurement in the shape height box is not 1.5, click in and then type 1.5 and hit enter. Okay, formatting my picture. On the Picture Tools Format tab in the Picture Styles group, click the More button. Okay. Point to the various styles to observe a live preview. In the Picture Styles gallery, click the Reflected Rounded Rectangle style. Right here. There's my Reflected Rounded Rectangle style. In the Picture Styles group, click the Picture Border button arrow. Point to weight and then 1. Okay. In the Picture Styles group, click the dialog box launcher right here. Alright, the task pane will open for formatting my picture. In the task pane, the Effects tab is selected, indicated by the Selected Effects button. In the Format Picture task pane, click the Fill in Line button. In the task pane, if the fill in line sections are not expanded, click the Expand arrow. And then click Line. When the sections are expanded, options for changing the fill in line appear. In the task pane, in the Fill section, click No Fill. And No Line. Okay, and then click Close here. Wrapping text around your graphic. Graphic objects in a document can either be inline or floating. An inline object is located in a specific position in a line of text, and the object moves with the text. Okay. A floating object can be positioned anywhere in the document, and the text will flow or wrap around it. The text wrap settings are square. Text flows around the straight edges of an object's border. Tight. Text flows around the contours of the object itself. Through. Text flows around the contours of the object itself and also fills any open spaces in the graphic. Top and bottom. Text stops at the top of an object and resumes below the bottom. Behind text. Text flows over the graphic. In front of text. Text flows behind the graphic. Alright, so we are going to change our graphics text wrap properties. We're going to click on the photo if you need to. Click the Layout Options button. Now we format. Let's see if we need to be in this menu or the layout menu. Okay, we're in format. Layout options button is right here. Okay. On the menu, click the square option. The text in the document wraps around the photo on both sides, and the square option on the menu is now shaded to indicate that it is selected. On the Layout Options menu, click the Close button. Okay. I actually have this in the wrong place. This needs to be moved down here. Let's see if it'll let me move it. This actually needs to be moved here. Okay. And then we'll square it. Okay. So where it's not in the heading. Okay. Moving a graphic, I point to the photo so that the corner changes. We drag it down out of the heading. We just did that. Okay. Now, format text with text effects. On page 1, select all of the text in the first paragraph, which is your welcome message here at the top. In the Home tab, in the font group, click the Text Effects and Typography button. Right here. Okay. In the gallery, click the Fill Black Text 1 Outline Background 1 Hard Shadow Accent 1 Style. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Outline background 1 hard shadow. Accent 1 style. This is probably it right here. That's it. Okay. Click the Text Effects and Typography button again and then point to Outline. Alright. In the color palette in the sub-menu, the white background 1 color is selected. This is the outline color that is part of the style you apply to the text. On the Text Effects and Typography menu, point to Shadow. Okay. Nothing is selected because the shadow applied as part of the style is not one of the preset shadow styles. On the Shadow menu, click Shadow Options. The menu closes and the Format Text Effects task pane appears with the Text Effects button selected in the Shadow category expanded. In the task pane, click the Color button and choose Blue Accent 5 is pre-selected. In the palette, click Blue Accent 5 Lighter 40%. Okay. At the top of the task pane, click the Text Fill and Outline button. In the Text Fill and Outline section is collapsed. Click Text Fill to expand it. The text fill color is the same as the font color, and the text outline color is you saw when you examined the outline submenu. In the text fill section, click the Color button. And click Green Accent 6. On the Home tab in the Font group, click the Font Color button arrow. And then click the Blue Accent 5 Darker 25% color. Okay. And then we're going to close this task pane. We're going to insert and format word art next. On page 1, Place the insertion point before the first character in the first paragraph. On the ribbon, click the Insert tab. In the text group, click the Word Art button. In the gallery, click the Fill Black Text 1 Outline Background 1 Hard Shadow Accent 1. Alright. A text box is inserted with the placeholder text, your text here. The placeholder text is selected to refer to Exhibit 12-25. Because the wrapping is set to front of text, you can see the text in the document behind the text box. Type Dance Studio K. Alright. Format the text in the text box. Okay. Point to the WordArt text box border so that the pointer changes to the four-sided arrows, and then click the border. The border changes to a solid line. The text box is selected. On the Drawing Tools Format tab in the Word Art Styles group, click the Text Outline button arrow. Okay. And click Blue Accent 5 Darker 50% Color. The WordArt group, click the Text Effects button and then point to Transform. Gallery for Transform Effects appears. Point to several to see a live preview. In the Warp section, click the Square effect. In the Shape Styles group, click the Shape Fill button arrow. Click the white background 1 color. Okay. Resize a text box, change its wrapping options and move it. On the Drawing Tools Format tab in the Size group, click the Shape Width box. Type 6 and hit Enter. The WordArt text box is resized to 6 inches wide. In the Shape Height box, type a 1. Hit Enter. Alright, click the Layout Options button and click Top and Bottom. Alright, point to the solid line of text border. Drag the word art to the right above the Welcome to Dance Studio K. Okay. Compare your picture to Exhibit 12-28 on page 369. Alright, now we're going to go to creating columns. Format a document in columns. Alright, below the word art text box, place the insertion point before the word welcome. On the ribbon, click the Layout tab. In the page setup group, click the Columns button. Click 2. All text in section 1 after the insertion point is formatted in 2 columns. Scroll down and view pages 4 and 5. Alright, 4 and 5 are unaffected. They're different sections. Scroll to the beginning of the document. Make sure the insertion point is still before the word welcome. Okay. In the page setup group, click the columns button and then click more columns. Columns dialog box opens. In the Apply To box, this section appears, indicating that the settings you selected in this dialog box will apply only to this text in the current section. Above the Preview section, click the Line Between checkbox. A vertical line appears in the preview area separating the 2 columns and click OK. Scroll up so you can see the word art text if you can't already. The vertical line behind the text box is not visible. Alright, balancing my columns. Scroll down so that you can see the end of the second column on page 3. Okay. In the second column, in the last line, place the insertion point between the paragraph mark and the dotted line that indicates the next page section. On the Layout tab, in the Page Setup group, click the Breaks button. In the Section Breaks section, click Continuous. Okay. Continuous section break is inserted at the insertion point, and the column on the last page are balanced. Scroll down so that you can see the footer on page 3 and the header on page 4. On page 3, double-click the footer area. The tab on the footer identifies the footer as a section 1, and the header on page 4 is identified as section 3. Double-click anywhere outside the footer or header area. On the ribbon, click the View tab. In the Zoom group, click the Multiple Pages button. Change the zoom to 40%. Okay. Now, working with building blocks, creating quick parts. Change the zoom back to 120. On page 4, select all the text from Dance Studio K through paragraph mark after the website address. Okay. On the ribbon, click the Insert tab. In the text group, click the Quick Parts button. Alright, and then click Save Selection to Quick Part Gallery. Alright, in the name box type Contact Info. And then click Save Selection, let's see, and then click OK. Insert a quick part. Switch back to your class table document. Position the insertion point at the beginning of the document before the word August. On the ribbon, click the Insert tab. In the text group, click the Quick Parts button. Click the Contact Info Quick Part. The menu closes and the contact information is inserted in its own paragraph at the insertion point. Alright, in the closing of the letter, replace Leslie Kramer with your name. And then save and close the document. Alright. Now, using the building block organizer and delete quick parts. On the Insert tab in the text group, click the Quick Parts button. Then click Building Blocks Organizer. Building Blocks Organizer dialog box opens. Click the Name column header. Click the Gallery column header. Scroll down until you see the entry Contact Info. Let's see it. Let's see. Well, let's see it. Maybe I'm just overlooking it. Alright. I want you to delete that one, but I don't see it. Let's see. Well, I'm not seeing it in the group here. My building blocks organizer. Name. Gallery. Well, I'm not seeing contact info. Huh. Alright, there's organize and delete. There it is. Contact info, quick parts. We want to delete it. Yes. Okay. Close the dialog box. Save and close the dance flyer document. Alright, and that completes chapter 12. You can go ahead and close Word. Don't save your building block stuff. When you start to submit, you need to send me your class table document and your dance flyer. Okay, these are the two that you need to send on the link for the assignment. If you have any questions, please email me and let me know.